now close citizens' time. We'll move on to our next item, which is proclamations and recognitions. Sheriff Mosier.
Thank you, Chairman Butler. Am I permitted to proceed and ask folks to join us?
Please.
Okay. So could I ask Director of the Department of Criminal Justice Services, Shannon Dion, to join us? I would ask that Derrick Mays join us from the Virginia Standards Law Enforcement Professional Commission, Chief Arnold from Wytheville Police Department with the commission.
This gentleman drove. Is this working? This gentleman drove from Wytheville, Virginia tonight to celebrate with us. And if you got an award for furthest travel like we used to in the Fireman's Parade, you'd win that.
I didn't think about that one, but do that too. Also, I'd like to have Sergeant Major Eddie Wines from the Fauquier County Sheriff's Office and my wife, Cindy Mosier, to join us as well. As we go through this, and Mr. Paul McCullough. So,
and while Eddie's walking up, I'll say he's a 44-year veteran of the Fauquier County Sheriff's Office and a long-time buddy.
So, there you go. Yeah, Mr. McCullough. Good. So, Mr. Chairman, as we know, we received notification on August 9th, 2018, that we had received law enforcement accreditation. This is the first time in the history of Fauquier County Sheriff's Office. We've been around since 1759. It took us a little while to get here, but we're here. And so we have been awarded accreditation from the Department of Criminal Justice Services. And so there's a couple things that will take place. There'll be a presentation of the certificate of accreditation, not only to the Sheriff's Office, but also to the county government and to the Board of Supervisors, very truly in support of making this happen throughout. So I think the mic next goes to Director Dion, and then from there to Derrick Mays for the presentation. Is that correct? Is that what we're doing?
I can do that.
Okay, all right. Well, there we go. So please.
Thank you so much for inviting me here to participate in this significant achievement that you and your department has achieved. This is quite an accomplishment, and on behalf of Governor Ralph Northam and Secretary of Public Safety Brian Moran, I send my congratulations from them for this accomplishment. For those of you who don't know what the accreditation program is or what it entails, it's basically adherence to a set of standards and professional standards that are set by an independent body that recognize and indicate what a very good professional law enforcement agency is performing. And it involves lots of moving parts. It's an arduous process. It takes about 3 years on average for a law enforcement agency to achieve accreditation, and the fact that you achieved it, I think in 2.5 years, I think is a testament to your leadership and commitment and determination and drive to make sure that your office is up here. And this type of accreditation, is only a small fraction of our law enforcement agencies ever achieve this. There are 190 standards that they have to hit the mark on and achieve. And not only do they have to, once they hit that, they have to demonstrate that for the next 4 years, that they're actually saying what they have promised that they're going to do. And all of this they have done for you, the people of Fauquier County, because they are so committed to giving you the very best service, making sure that their policies and procedures and operations and the training is all the very best, because that's what you deserve. So this is quite the achievement, and I'm so happy for you and the men and women of your office, and congratulations. And with that, I will turn it back to Derrick.
There you go.
Well, the director didn't leave a whole lot for me to say. Well done, well done. What it really boils down to is seeing that your law enforcement agencies do what they're doing, but they're doing it right. And that's what's most important. They're abiding by the Code of Virginia. They're doing all the things necessary to keep you and the public safe. And it's not something that they can do alone. It's something that takes a commitment not only from the Sheriff's Office, from the Board of Supervisors, but it also takes a commitment from the community as well. If there's not a community buy-in, if you not trust your law enforcement agencies, then what good is the purpose of having them? When people ask me, why should I be accredited? My response is, why wouldn't you want to be? You want your schools accredited, yes. You want your doctors and your hospitals accredited, yes. Then why wouldn't you want your law enforcement agencies that are protecting you, risking their life day after day, minute by minute? Why wouldn't you want them accredited? It can only make them better. It can only make you more proud to have them around. So these are the reasons why agencies go through this. It's not only to be good at what they do, it's to be better and set the path and a higher standard for those coming behind them, next to them, in front of them. It's what you do. Because it's not just a job. Anybody can put on a uniform, but not everybody can wear a badge. There's a big difference. And I know because I did it for 20 years. There's a big difference. So Fauquier has showed you that they are not wearing a uniform. They're wearing that badge, and they're living by it. At this time, I'm going to let Chief Ricky Arnold, who is one of our newest commissioners from VLEPSC, have his say. And also, Chief, would you read to the audience the certificate, please, sir?
Certainly, Derrick. One other thing that I want to bring up about the accreditation process. The accreditation process is broken down into 190 standards, but then they are further broken down into 555 bulleted items that have to be met, as well as those 190 standards. So you're talking about 745 issues that the Fauquier County Sheriff's Office was able to commit themselves to and complete and pass totally. In addition, it's not very often that an agency that has applied for accreditation get through it scot-free. And what I'm talking about is that when they're being assessed, sometimes you're going to find some small, minor things. And Sheriff Mosier and your accreditation staff, they went through all 190 standards and did not have a return on any of those 190 standards, which is an accomplishment for an initial assessment. And you have a lot of right to be proud of your agency and your department. And as I'm presenting this to the sheriff, I do want to read what it says. It says, Certificate of Accreditation. This document certifies that the Fauquier County Sheriff's Office came before the Virginia Law Enforcement Professional Standards Commission on August 9, 2018, and has met the requirements set forth by the said commission and is therefore certified as an accredited agency. And this is their initial award. Congratulations, Sheriff.
Thank you, sir. So I got Sergeant Major Wines over here. Just, I'll say briefly, Sergeant Major Wines is here with me now. I want you to know that he was my supervisor when I first came to work in Fauquier County. So,
Was everybody's supervisor?
it's true. But he challenged me to always be a better policeman, a better community servant. And Sergeant Major Wines, thank you for that. Thank you for being here today. Thank you.
You turned out pretty good.
Okay. All right, sir.
All right, in conclusion of this ceremony, the Board of Supervisors issued a proclamation commending the Sheriff's Office for this achievement. It's an honor for me not only to be on the Board of Supervisors, to be the chairman since Sheriff Mosier has accomplished this great feat. But some of you know, because you probably heard me say it 20 times in the last 3 years, Eddie also trained me. I worked at the Sheriff's Department for 10 years, and unfortunately injury took me off the job, so I'm able to come back and serve with these guys again, guys and gals, and it's quite an honor. I'm going to read this proclamation. Proclamation to commend the Fauquier County Sheriff's Office for its outstanding achievement in the award of accreditation by the Virginia Law Enforcement Professional Standards Commission. Whereas Virginia Law Enforcement Professional Standards Commission was established to provide law enforcement agencies in the Commonwealth with the avenue for demonstrating that they meet commonly accepted professional standards for efficient and effective agency operation. And whereas the mission of the Commission is to advance law enforcement professionalism through the establishment of professional standards and the administration of a formal mechanism by which Virginia agencies can be systematically measured, evaluated, and updated. And whereas the VLEPSC accreditation requires compliance with 190 standards for efficient, effective agency operations and address topics relevant to the delivery of professional law enforcement services in various categories, including administration, operation, personnel, and training. And whereas the Fauquier County Sheriff's Office, under the leadership of Sheriff Robert Mosier, is committed to the idea of professionalism and excellence in public service. And whereas in June 2018, a team of 3 assessors conducted a 3-day on-site assessment of Fauquier County Sheriff's Office to verify compliance with a rigorous set of measurable standards. And whereas the lead assessor noted that no accreditation files were returned for any major or minor repairs, which is equivalent of granting a perfect score, and commented further that Sheriff Mosier and his entire staff were very knowledgeable, professional, and hospitable. And whereas during a meeting on August 10, 2018, Virginia Law Enforcement Professional Standards Commission voted unanimously to approve and grant accreditation to the Fauquier County Sheriff's Office. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Fauquier County Board of Supervisors this 11th day of October 2018 that the Board hereby recognizes, congratulates, and commends Fauquier County Sheriff's Office for its outstanding achievement of the award of accreditation by the Virginia Law Enforcement Professional Standards Commission.
Did I tell you earlier that Sergeant Major Wines has 44 years with the Sheriff's Office? Did I mention that? So that was part of it. Truly, thank you to the men and women of the Sheriff's Office for making this happen. They worked extremely hard in doing this and the end result. And I also have to acknowledge someone else in the room who's here. He's a civilian now. He might think he is, but Robert Wilcox. He was the first chief deputy to work with the Sheriff's Office under this administration, and he has a significant impact in getting the ball moving forward. So, Robert, thank you.
Thank you for the comment. I would like to say Eddie trained me several times. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.